You're listening to Marc Parham on Cat Builder Talk on the Survival Radio Network. What is going to make your business stand out from everyone else's? Most of us don't come up with a unique business idea. It's something that's already been done. There are a few things out there like the pet rock and things like that, but the whole deal for you is to figure out what is unique about you. The uniqueness could be you, okay? The way you smile, your customer service, your attitude, your spirit. It's all about finding out what that uniqueness is and then stepping out on it. Learning how to embrace it and learning how to use it so you can achieve the goals that you have for the passion that you have in your life. So I think that learning who our customers are and our competition really helps us determine who we want to sell to. Because as you've probably heard, not all customers are good customers. Not all money is good money. So you try to pick and work with it so that you can find out who's there to buy your product. So I think that, the takeaway from this is customers' composition, figure it out. Use the internet to research this because it's just so important that you understand who you're selling to, And this helps you also evaluate your business idea. Because once you find out who you want to sell to, you go back and you look at your idea, you might tweak it a little bit. You might go, it was a good idea, but maybe I need to change it a little bit. Maybe the recommendation from a coach or another kind of trusted advisor, it's important. So work with it. Be confident of what your idea is. Do the research. Use some of the methods that I've talked about to help you find out, one, is your idea good? Can people make money? Who your customers are and who's your competition? Because I think that these are some of the most important aspects of starting a business. So we have a question from area code 404-1951. You're on the Cat Builder Talk Show.
This is Muhammad Zahir. Marc, again, another wonderful, wonderful show. I love this, how you're moving with the question of who your customers are, something that's not even answered by most businesses out there. They really don't take the time. Interesting enough, the concept of your uniqueness is one that a lot of people don't spend time with. And you said something really wonderful, and that was that sometimes the uniqueness, if you will, is you. I would want to say at all times, the uniqueness is you. What you bring to the table, how are you bringing it differently becomes the question. When I speak with business owners and entrepreneurs, I always ask them to answer what I consider to be the holy grail, or the holy trinity of business questions, and that's the why, how, what. Why are you in business? What's the cause of the belief that you have that pushes you through the day and allows you to be different from other people? How are you uniquely different in what you're doing and how you're doing it, so that even if you have somebody right next to you selling shoes and you sell shoes, why should they buy their shoes from you versus the guy right next to you? Okay, that's really most important. Then, of course, what most people know is what are you selling? What are you really selling? What do you invoice for? When you answer those three questions, the why, how, and what, you can run and participate in almost any business successfully. But as you say, it's really, really important to do your homework. And your homework is not only external, it's also internal.
Internal. Tell me this. You say when you speak, first off, you say you speak, who are you?
I'm sorry. This is Muhammad Zahir in Atlanta, Georgia.
All right. But tell me about what you do. I mean, your company and why you're able to make the statement that you just made.
I have a company that's actually called Your Trusted Advisors. It's an umbrella company to about 3 or 4 different brands. One of the brands that's most popular for me is what I call 360 guerrilla marketing. It basically is the idea of marketing to get the same results as larger companies without spending the kind of money that large companies spend and without having the staff that large companies have. The second one is be your own brand. Okay, and that's basically the idea of being on Facebook and social media and seeing yourself as your own brand. Okay, and marketing your own brand as your own brand, if you will, and then coaching and consulting.
Right. And I have to say that the Facebook site that you see that I have today was not the one I had a few months ago. I even need a coach every now and then. And Brother Mohammed here coached me on flip it that I'm very pleased with. But
good.
Your idea about the who, what, when, and where. One other question I want to ask you quickly before we go to another break is, you get out there and you say this. You're in a room full of people that are just think I want to start a business. What percentage of them get that message on the first pass? What I'm trying to establish is a lot of times people go to these meetings and they don't get it immediately, but sometimes it hits them later. So how many times does that happen from a coaching standpoint where you're in front of a room and you're talking and, you see the light bulb go on a lot, or what do you see?
Interestingly enough, there's always a percentage of the room that gets it, simply because either it's just their time to get it, they've heard it enough, or maybe I said it in a way that worked for them this time. I think that we all have to realize that the information comes to us every day about what we need to do and how we need to do it. The question is, are we ready to receive it at that moment? Sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes we need to go through this, that, or the other before it makes sense. And lots of times it's because it's new to us. We unfortunately don't always have great mentors when we're growing up around business. I know when I was growing up, it was about, go to school and get a good education and then go on and get a good job. No one ever spoke to me about business, although I think I started my little entrepreneurship business when I was delivering groceries at the local A&P up in New York City, where I bagged the groceries. I was 12, 13. I bagged the groceries in the A&P, and I walked the groceries, 4 blocks away, with the person upstairs, third, fourth, fifth floor, and got my 35 cents, 65 cents, and I was like, wow, I'm rich. And I did that all Saturday, all day Saturday, okay? But
see,
that was my first.
But what you're showing me is that the entrepreneurial spirit was there a long time ago, okay?
Yes. Yes.
But I don't believe that, just because you didn't have it as a kid doesn't mean you can't get it today.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
A lot of us, I was very fortunate, as you heard from my first show. My parents kind of bred it into me. But a lot of people didn't have that experience, but that doesn't mean they can't get it. And that's one of the messages I'm really trying to get across.
You're right. And Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
One thing that I've heard when I was young as a child, I think the expression goes, necessity is the mother of invention, or need is the mother. Necessity is the mother of invention. And when I heard your parents speak, a lot of times they were saying, well, we needed this and we needed that and we didn't have it, so we had to figure it out. We had a need, and so we figured it out. We tried anything: cookies, cakes, lemonade, something.
Right.
You're not going to always get it the first time around, but if you keep on plugging, you're going to hit it. As they say, even a blind squirrel will find a nut every now and then.
Every now and then, that's right. Well, I want you to say how people can catch up to you, and thank you for calling in. I got to go to break here in a second.
Sure.
But, so was it 360 Gorilla? What is it, 360
Gorilla
Marketing?
360 Gorilla Marketing is one of the most popular brands that I work in the Atlanta area in particular. And that also is my Facebook page, 360 Gorilla with 2 R's and 2 L's.
All right. Great.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. Thanks for your input. Look forward to having you on other shows, helping us, help people step out on faith.
I'd love to.
In this world of entrepreneurship. So
thank you, Marc.
This is Marc.
Good job, man.
All right, thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. We really, really need it. All of us need it. Thanks a lot.
All right.
All right now.
You're listening to Marc Parham on Cat Builder Talk on the Survival Radio Network. I'll be back in a minute.